All right, guys, let's take a look at that 1.5 homework. So this is a little shorter lesson. There's only 4 pages. So we are wrapping up Unit 1. So let's just kind of talk about the last few things we want to make sure we understand. So to find 73 times 9, you can do 73 times 10, then remove one group of 73. So that over strategy. So 9 is really close to 10. So instead of doing 73 times 9, we can do 73 times 10. And then we just have to remove that extra group of 73 that we went over. So just that idea with students, kind of easier to do this in your head maybe and write it out, but more than one way to do it. B, to find the volume of the box. If it's 18 by 25 on the base and 12 layers, I can multiply the area of the base times the height. Again, when we're finding volume, we're just going to multiply the 3 dimensions, whatever they are. In this case, we've got 18 times 25 times 12. And a big thing on this one, notice it says write a numerical expression. We don't have to solve it, so we are done with number 1. We're just writing the math problem out, getting our brains thinking. Now number 2, it does says write and solve, so this time we do have to solve. So we'll at least get it set up for you. To find 23 times 8, I can double and halve. So for 23 times 8, the big thing is which one do we want to cut in half? We're going to stick to our even number on that, so it's half of 8. That's going to be 4. And if I double 23, that's going to be 46. So you can do 46 times 4. We could double in half again if you want. Let's see, we get 2 here. Then if I double 40, that's 80. If I double 6, that's 12. 80 plus 12 is 92. So you can think about doubling 92. It's really up to you, but you do need to find the answer on that one, okay? So whatever makes sense there. 24 times 17, I can do 20 times 17 and add it to 4 times 17. So we're looking at 24 times 17. We can break that 24 up into 20 plus 4, right? That's still 24. And then now I can just multiply 17 by these 2 parts. So I'm going to do 17 times 20 plus 17 times 4. And again, you do need to solve it, so I'll let you guys work on that. If you have any questions, let me know. But think about how you can break that down. You could use the double and half strategy. Again, we'll start setting this one up. So 17 times 20, that's going to be kind of like 17 times 2, right? And then place your 0. And then 17 times 4, well, if I know what 17 times 2 is, I can double that. Or we could break this down into 4 times 10 plus 4 times 7. So we could take that 17 and break it up into 10 plus 7. So we could break this up a little farther. And then this 20 times 17, we could just think of what's double 17 and then place my 0. So if we do these smaller parts, then we'll be good to go there. Number 3, true or false. Again, it looks like they're doubling and halving. So 12 times 17, is that the same as 6 times 34? Well, I know if I'm at 12, I can cut 12 in half to get 6. So if I double 17, does that get to 34? I don't know. Figure that one out, guys. And then for B, 99 times 75, is that the same as 100 times 75 minus 1? Well, kind of like up top, if I have a 99 times 75, I can do 100 groups of 75, but then I got to take away a group of 75. So this is false because I don't want to take away 1. I got to take away a group of 75. Okay, so we can make it true by saying minus 1 group of 75. But again, gotta make sure that we're doing that correctly there. Up next, to find the volume of a box, I can multiply the length times the width. Now, if we go back up to letter B here, volume, we have to have 3 dimensions, right? Length, width, and height. So, if I only have the length and the width, is that going to give me the volume? Nope. That'll give me the base, but then I need to multiply. So, we need to have 3 numbers to find the volume. Okay, so something like that. Number 4, evaluate each expression. A, just multiply those 3 numbers out. You can do it any order you want. Now B, C, and D, we do kind of have to follow the rules here. Let's see. Let's set up B real quick for you a little bit. So we got 2. And then notice how there's no operation here. That implies multiplication. So if we don't see an operation, we know that means to multiply. That's something kind of new, so we'll be talking about that this year. Just like on this 3, that means 3 times 4 times 4. Okay? So 5 times 5 is 25. So I got 2 times 25 plus 3 times, let's see, 4 times 4 is 16. So again, we're going to have to solve these 2 parts to finish that one off, okay? How about letter C? 100 times 67 minus 1 times 67. Well, for letter C, what's 100 times 67? I'm going to write 67, place 2 zeros behind it. Oh, cool, 6,700 minus 67. Okay, go ahead and finish that one off. And then D, we're going to rewrite D. So 98 times 47 plus 2 more groups of 47. Well, if I have 98 groups of 47, I add 2 more groups of 47, that means we actually have 100 groups of 47. So for letter D, we're going to rewrite that as 100 times 47. Okay, and you should be able to finish that from there. Again, let me know if you have any questions. How many cubes are here? Again, we're just going to multiply our 3 numbers, whatever these 3 numbers are. Multiply those out. B, they have them written for us. So again, 4 times 5 times 6. So whatever you want to do there, okay? Number 6, we've got a box that holds 125 balls. Now each layer has 25 balls in it. So how many layers does it have? Well, if we start to draw a picture, well, let's see. We got 25 in that layer, 25 in that layer, 25 in that layer. We're not sure how tall this box is. Right now I can see there's 75, we're getting close. So we can think about this as 25 times what gets us to 125. Or we could also think about this as 125 divided by 25. And kind of chunk it out that way, okay? Number 7, a box holds 425 balls. Each layer has 17 balls. How many layers does this box have? So again, now we know we have or how many layers? Yeah. Now we know we've got 17 in each layer. It's very similar. So we could start stacking these up. We're not sure, right? Well, let's set this one up. 425 divided by 17. Well, let's take 10 if we can. 10 times 17 is 170. So if we have 10 layers, that's 170 balls. And then we can see how many we have left. So we got 5, we'll regroup here. 12 minus 7 is 5, and then 3 minus 1 is 2. So 17 in each layer times 10 layers, that's 170 baseballs we just took away. We still have 255. Well, we can do another group of 10, right? Another 170. So we're going to get a 5. Again, do a little regrouping. 15 minus 7. So we're going to get 85 here. And kind of go from there. So go ahead and keep working that one out. And then we'll see what you guys get on that one. And that was about 425, 17. Yep. You got to figure out how many more you got there. Number 1 on this page, again, we're just writing an expression. So you don't have to solve it, but you need to write what does it mean to do 7 times 8 and add 9. Write me the math problem. Well, 7 times 8 plus 9. Just write that, right? Because left to right, that's all we need on that one. I multiplied 3 times 12. Then I multiplied the product of 3 times 12 by 5. Well, we need to do 3 times 12. Whatever we get for that. Then we need to multiply by 5. So can you write 3 times 12, then times 5? That's what we're looking for there, okay? Subtracted 14 from 30. Then I multiplied the difference by 6. Okay? Well, it looks like we got to do 30 minus 14 and then multiply by 6. Okay? But make sure we're doing things in the right order, so we might need to put some parentheses on that, right? So if I do 30 minus 14, then times 6, the thing is orders of operation tell us we have to multiply before we subtract, so don't forget, we do need to have parentheses on this one, okay? Number 2, he loves multiplying by 99 because he can use the over strategy. So how could he solve 99 times 76? Well, 99 times 76 is really close to 100 groups of 76, right? So that would be like 100 times 76, but then we just got to take one group of 76 away. Okay, so that's the expression we're looking for. Go ahead and solve that. And then you can write a different way if you want. You can use the box method. I'm not too worried about letter C, to be honest with you, but we could set this one up so we're doing like 90 and 9, 70 and 6, and then multiplying those parts. But again, you can kind of set up however you want. Okay. All right. And then write an expression to show how she could solve this one. Now she likes using the double and half strategy. Now remember, if we're doing this by 25, I can double 25 to get 50. Half of 28 is 14. I could double 50 to get 100. And then half of 14 would be 7, right? So it looks like we could solve it that way, okay? This one, we got to evaluate each expression. The big thing is remember, right here, if we don't see it, this is actually going to be a multiplication, right? Multiplication. So don't forget, if we don't see an operation there, that means to multiply, okay? And then 100 times 89, so 8900 minus 89, not too bad. And then let's set these up real quick. We've got 38 fifth graders. They're going on the field trip to the art museum. They're riding in vans that hold 9 students. How many vans will they need? Well, if we've got 38 fifth graders divided by 9, that's our equation we're looking for. And again, we could set that up that way. Think about it this way. 9. Let's see. 9 times something isn't exactly 38, is it? I know 9 times 4 is 36. And yeah, they're coming back from lunch. You guys have art today, right? Yeah. So just line up. Yep, just line up for art. Yep. Yeah, they're heading to art, so we'll just keep working here. So 4 times 9 is 36, and they're going to have a couple left over. So think about how many buses, how many vans we're going to need. Looks like 4 isn't quite enough, so keep that in mind, okay? Yep, just go ahead and line up for art, guys. The next one, Alex and Marcus went to the store with their mom. She said they could split the change evenly. Now the total cost of their groceries is $57.32, and she gave the cashier 3 $20 bills. How much money do they get? Now these story problems I really think of as they're kind of fun. It's like a puzzle or riddle, right? So if you ever get to these and they're a little confusing, feel a little frustrated, just take a breath, read it a couple times, and you'll do just fine. So what are we doing one more time? We got 2 kids. Mom says you can split whatever money I get left over. We know the groceries were $57.32, and she gave the cashier 3 $20 bills. How much money did they get? Well, if she gave the cashier 3 $20 bills, so we're going to start with 3 times 20. That's how much money she gave the cashier. Then we're going to have to take away how much the groceries were, $57.32. And then whatever's left over, we're going to divide that between 2 kids, right? So that's where we're starting. Let's just real quick. 3 $20 bills. So my mom gave, $60, right? We can kind of start to solve this. Then we have to subtract the $57.32. And then whatever left, we get to divide by 2. Now the only problem is, looking at this, when I get to this step, orders of operation tell us what do we have to do. Now, my original expression, we were good because you have to multiply first. Cool. But now on this next level, I have to do my division before my subtraction. I don't want to do that. So what can I do to lock it in, force it? I'm the boss, right? You're doing what I want you to do. We need to do all of this before we divide by 2. Okay? Now, if you want to put parentheses around 3 times 2, 3 times 20, you can, but you don't have to. But the key is now I need to make sure we subtract. Then whatever we get left over, we got to divide that by 2. So let's go ahead. We'll even set that up. So I've got $60. And we're going to subtract that $57.32. And we're going to do some regrouping here. So we're going to go all the way to the 6. And now we've got a 10 here, but we're going to regroup again to make that a 10, and regroup one more time to make that a 10. So 10 minus 2 is going to be 8. 9 minus 3, we're going to get 6. And then 9 minus 7, we get 2. And the 5's cancel out. So the boys are going to split $2.68. So I'll let you take it from here. If I have $2, I split that in half. Okay. How about the 68 cents? Okay. I want you to take it from there, guys. Last one. This is not really a challenge. We said in class, these aren't really challenges. In fact, I think this one might be easier than the previous one. You just got to think a little bit. Get your thinking caps on. All right. It's Friday afternoon. Maya realizes she put off reading her book for too long. Now she needs to finish it by Monday. Now her book is 265 pages long, but she is on page 127. So how many pages will she need to read each night before getting to school on Monday? All right, let's talk about this. So it's Friday. Can she read Friday night? Yep, there's one day. Can she read Saturday? Yep, there's 2. Can she read Sunday? Yep. Can she read Monday? Oh, no, we can't read Monday. It's got to be done. So there's 3 days, 3 nights we got to finish this. So what do we got to do first? Well, first we got to see how many pages she needs to read.
Good, how are you?
So we've got 265 minus 127. And then however many pages we have left, we just realized, hey, we got 3 days. We got 3 nights to get it done. So that's all we got to do is do some subtraction, then division. But orders of operation, if I leave it like this, well, there's no parentheses, there's no exponents. I got to multiply or divide first. So what can I do? What can I add to force it to do what I want it to do? Because you're in control of this. We got to subtract first, right? So we've got the 265 minus 127. All right, 5 minus 7, can't do that. But we can do 15 minus 7, so 3 and 5. So we got 8. 5 minus 2 is 3, and 2 minus 1 is 1. All right, so now we got to do 138 divided by 3. And I'm going to start with the group of 10. If you want to do a different number, that's fine. So I can do 10 times 3, that's 30. So if I read 10 pages every day for 3 days, that gets rid of 30 pages. So we get an 8, 0, 1. Okay, cool. I could do another group of 10. 10 times 3 would be another 30 pages. So 8 minus 0 is 8. Can't do that. 10 minus 3 is 7. Ooh, we're getting close. Still got 78 pages we got to figure out. I'm going to let you guys finish it from here. But again, we're reviewing the last bit of Unit 1. Some great stuff here. Keep up the good work, and let me know if you have any questions.